Hi everyone, it's Liam here from Racing the Races. So first thing you'll notice, if you're a free member and you come onto our web ratings, you'll now see that the ratings are the first race of the day will be in RTR rank order, and also you'll see all of the statistics. You could do that, but it was hidden behind a few settings that you had to go to, up to column settings, add the settings, and then it would work. But we've now made it so that you don't have to change them, they'll automatically all be visible. And you'll also see that if I just move to the next race, we've tried to make it really clear that when you're seeing this view, when you're a free member, you're not seeing them in ratings order, you're seeing them in horse name order, so alphabetical order. Anyway, let's get on with some previews for tomorrow's racing. Who do I like and who am I watching out for with future races in mind? So the first race is the novice hurdle at Sandown that I'm interested in. And the horse I'm going to be watching here, I'm not going to be having a bet on, but I'm going to be watching, is Balkio. I think his form in France is quite good, and he'll definitely come on for the run, and that's where I'll be looking at. You know, where does he go from here? Possibly a race at the Cheltenham Festival, maybe like the Martin Pipe if they can get him qualified in time, or he could just be one for future races. I think Shall We Have One More is going to be very hard to beat here. But a good run from Balkio would definitely catch my eye if he can finish maybe second or third. Moving on to the 115 now, you'll see I'm not showing you the ratings. That's because premium members pay for the ratings, so I can't show you the ratings to premium races if you're going to be watching this as a free member. Horse I like here, Dolos. I highlighted Dolos earlier in the week. You may have just seen all I tweeted was #Dolos once it had the entry for this race. Why do I like him for this race? Well, I highlighted him when he got dropped £6 for his last run. That means he's now rated 143. He's won this race and he's finished second in this race. When he won it off a mark £14 higher, 157. And when he was second last year to Moonlighter, he was second off 158. He's running off 143. The only concern for him is the ground. They have been on softer conditions. But if the ground's not an issue, or even if it is a little bit of an issue and actually he just really acts at Sandown, maybe he's not going to win by as far as he could if it was on soft and heavy because he's so well handicapped. He just wins by a little distance because he's so well handicapped that even with the ground, he wins. I'm really hopeful of Dolos there. I'm sure Paul would have wanted a bit of rain, but they had to take the chance in the race. They finished first and second in the last 2 years. When they actually won it 2 years ago, they beat First Flow. So, that was really good form. The next race I want to talk about is the Scilly Isles, the Grade 1. Now, I'm a little bit concerned here in the fact that I've advised Mr. Coffee for the 2.5 handicap at the Cheltenham Festival, the Paddy Power Plate. Now, normally, off 137, I think he's very well handicapped. But he could ruin his handicap mark tomorrow without even winning. The two horses, Pic Dory and Long Press, are rated 155 and 154, 17 and £18 higher. Well, if Mr. Coffee finishes 3 lengths behind them, and they finish first and second, he could finish third. I think it would win £8,000 prize money, go up potentially £6-7 for that, and really hinder his chance of winning the race at the Cheltenham Festival. I hope he does. I've looked through some of the horses that have been in this race and where they've gone. Some of them go to the 2.5 novice event. There's a couple that have gone to the 3 novice event. There's one horse that even went to the 3-4, 3-6. And one went to the Kim Muir. Barrettstown is the closest we've got to what we're hoping for. He finished second in this race and then went and finished second in the Paddy Power Plate at the Cheltenham Festival. Hopefully Mr. Coffee finishes third here, 8 lengths or so behind. Handicapper leaves him alone on 137 and goes to the Paddy Power Plate where I think he would have a massive chance. I believe he's a 150 horse, and that's why I'm concerned that he could actually get too close to the horses rated 154 and 155. But let's hope not. Moving on to the 3 mile Virgin Bet Heroes handicap hurdle, and there's 2 here that are interesting, and I kind of think they've got 1 positive and 1 negative each. Call Me Lord likes the course, has won and finished second in an Imperial Cup. If the cap fits, doesn't like the course, I don't think. Well, he's had 1 run and he got beat at 2-5 by Pim in a novice chase. it's a small data set to say he doesn't like the course. If the cat fits wants this trip, Call Me Lord might not. Call Me Lord is stepping up to 3 Mile, but does have James Bowen on, and James Bowen's very interesting tomorrow because he's trying to ride a winner at all of the UK courses, and this is the last track he's got to do. He's got another ride in the next race, but surely he'd like to do it on in a big race like this. Call Me Lord is well handicapped for sure. It's all about the trip. I hope they drop Call Me Lord out and come through late and try and get the trip. And I kind of want the same tactics for If the Cat Fits. They've been going forward and really racing quite hard from the front, and that's just not been suiting If the Cat Fits. He's been going well, getting into the straight, and then the horses come past him that have been weighted with. He's ridiculously well handicapped. Ben Bromley taking 7 off means he's running off 135. Just 5 runs ago, he was running in a Stayers Hurdle where he finished 9th. Okay, he wasn't good enough for the Stayers Hurdle. He was running off 158 that day. In terms of his actual mark going into the race was 158. Obviously, it was a level weights race, but he was rated 158, £23 higher. The trip is fine. It's all about the course, and if they can ride him a little bit less prominent this time. He does have blinkers on for the first time as well, which could help him. I just hope that he can settle in even 4th or 5th sort of thing. Just don't go forward. Don't lead and don't sit right up there in 2nd and 3rd. 4th, 5th, 6th, 7th, that's what I'd like to see. Let others go on. And I think both of the Isaac Swade and Simon Menier horses can run big races if they're just given slightly more conservative rides than normal. Moving on to the Towton Novices Chase at Wetherby. I hope that Hoisinor wins here, wins quite comfortably, goes forward, jumps well, goes to the RSA / Brown Novices, Brown Advisory at the Cheltenham Festival. I think he should win here. If he doesn't win here, he's not going to win an RSA. He would need to be winning here for sure. On to Musselburgh. Barrettstown Lad is one that I want to win, purely because he beat Dragon Bones last time, and I like Dragon Bones. I think there's more to come from her. She was beaten last time as well at Kempton by my sister Sarah, but that was over a trip. The 3 Mile at Kempton is not far enough for Dragon Bones. She got caught for speed and ran on nicely. She ran Barrettstown Lad really close at Cheltenham, and I think she's a better horse than what her handicap mark is. So I'd like Barrettstown Lad to win this and frank that form. Scottish County Hurdle. Wow, that looks a terrible race for just the race in general. I thought you could get a couple of decent horses turning up here. I mean, Socialist Agenda won last time out. Highly Prized finished 2nd. None of the others placed last time out. Wild Max, who's I think's favourite. Look at his form. Fell, pulled up, nowhere pulled up, and he's favourite. I mean, why Voix de Rev isn't running here, I have no idea. If he ran yesterday, I think it was at Kelso, finished 3rd, didn't stay again, travelled nicely. I think was going to get beat by the horse who fell. Then looked like it was there for the taking and just tied up again. Could have ran here off a £10 lower mark than when finishing 2nd last year. Got loads of good form at Musselburgh. Had nothing at Kelso. Had been there once for the Moor Battle and finished well beaten. I don't understand. But when talking about races like that, I got a tweet from an owner saying, no one other than the trainer and owner should really be talking about races and where they go. I think that's absolutely ridiculous. Other people are allowed to express their opinions. You're allowed to criticise as well if you've got facts and figures and data and actually analyse a race. Don't just say, I don't think it should have run there because it ran poorly. Give it a reason or demonstrate why you actually think it ran poorly. It's essentially like criticising a football manager for their decision in the transfer window or who they bought or who they're going to play. And somebody, throwing their toys out the pram and saying, I don't agree, you should be saying things like that. You're allowed to have your opinion. Anyway, moving on. The 3:45 Musselburgh. Now, for an Edinburgh National, it's quite disappointing that only 6 go. There was 7, but we've already had a non-runner, Coup de Ponceau, however you say it. Who do I like in this race? Well, I was kind of interested in Highland Hunter. Ran well last time. Finished second at I Will Do It. But is rated 149. Now, he's in a Grand National trial at Haydock, and he's also in the Grand National. 149 will get you in the Grand National. Probably. Most likely. Does he need to win here? If he wins here and goes up £6, up to 155, suddenly he's really hindering his chance of a Grand National win. And the same can be said for Mighty Thunder. They've already talked about the Scottish National and the Grand National for Mighty Thunder. He also has an entry in the Grand National trial. Why would you want to win a 26 grand race if you think you have a horse that could run well in a national, the Grand National? The one who probably needs to win, in my opinion, is the Wolf. Only rated 137, won't get in a Grand National, actually doesn't have an entry in the Grand National. So there's no reason to be holding the Wolf back. His second last time to fullback was well franked when fullback ran a great race against Jalarenki. And as I said, has a reason to win the race. Well, has a reason not to win the race. I think Mighty Thunder and Highland Hunter both have those reasons. Yeah, I'm quite keen on the Wolf there to go very close and actually be trying. That's a big thing that you have to try and work out in races. Moving on to the Leopardstown card. The first race that I'm interested in is the 2 mile 6 race previously. Just confuses me a little bit. I like Manila Crooner for the 3 mile. I think Hollow Games is a bit slow. I think Ginto could be... I keep thinking about having a bet on Ginto in the Albert Bartlett because I think he wins that, and I think he wins it, quite comfortably. I'm not sure who's going to take him on yet. Manila Crooner is possibly the danger. Hollow Games will improve for the 2 mile 6 though, so that's why I've kind of left that race alone. And I'm looking at the Leopardstown one, the juvenile one. Obviously, we want Fildor to win this. Having got Fildor, excuse me, in the Triumph Hurdle. Why do I think he will win it? I think he will as a horse anyway. I think he's the best horse in the race. If he does win it, he will have won races that were won last year by Quilixios and Zanahir. So, both angles of the two best horses probably from last year in the juvenile division. He's won both races that they have won and kind of gone, well, I'm better than that one and better. I can win that and I can win that and I'm really, really good. And hopefully he then goes on to the Cheltenham Festival, wins the Triumph Hurdle and we go, way. Vauban, obviously, if Vauban wins, then Pied Piper probably does become favourite for the Triumph Hurdle. But I think Fildor wins this, shortens even more and becomes 5-4, 6-4 sort of price for the Triumph Hurdle. As Arkles go, Irish Arkles, I'm a little bit disappointed with this. I think it's lost its shine with the likes of Fernie Hollow not there, Appreciate It not there, Montmorale, Over Fences. The Arkle looks a bit uninspiring to me. I think Blue Lord is a good horse, but he's not a multiple Grade 1 winner. This he can win because he's like third or fourth in a normal Arkle, but I think it's so weak this year, he could go and win the Arkle, and he could win this Irish Arkle en route. But in terms of what actually is running here, I think I would take him on with Riviere de Tel, but I'm not going to. I'm going to leave this race alone. Race that I am going to have a bet in, though, is the Paddy Power I'd Love I Can, but Pints Are Cheaper Handicap Hurdle. What a name. There's two in this that are interesting. You know about them if you watch my previous videos. Dunboyne. I will tell you that Dunboyne has come out top rated on our ratings. He's right at the bottom of the handicap in terms of getting in the Pertemps final. So they can't mess about here. They can't try and hold him up and get dropped a couple of pounds and then miss out. I think they're going to go for it. I think they're going to go for it and try and win this race. If they think they've got a ridiculously well handicapped horse, they could win this, go to the Pertemps final and still win that as well. It's worth nearly 50 grand to the winner as well, so it's a race worth going for. it's not one that you can, that's worth like £8,000, and well, we don't want to win that and ruin our handicap mark. They might as well go for it. Jack Kennedy retains the ride. He rode it last time when he was 5th in the qualifier, and I don't think he tried that hard that day. I think that was to get him qualified. It wasn't worth very much, that qualifier. This one is, well, this isn't a qualifier, but this race is worth winning, and I think they go very close here. Second horse that really catches my eye, that I'm worried that they are going for it, but they might also be trying to get its mark down under a clever ride, and that is Dallas to Picton. Davy Russell takes back over. He rode Dallas to Picton 2 runs ago when he qualified for the Potemps final, finishing 2nd. When he qualified, Davy didn't move. Davy refused to move for ages. The winner got away, and then he started riding, and it looked like, he didn't want to win the race. It looked to me. It could be that he's going to try and ride him here and get him covered up and run into all sorts of trouble and finish well beaten and drop £2 or £3. He obviously has Cheltenham Festival form. I think he's finished 2nd and 5th in Martin Pipes. The step up to 3 looks to have suited. I thought last time they went too hard from the front. They might try and do that again and go even harder and get him to drop back and fade late on. But I do want to have a small bet on him as well, just in case, because it is worth £49,500 to the winner. It is a race worth trying to win. Obviously, it's Giggins down there, and they probably don't need the money. They could just hold him back for the Potemps final. But just in case. Moving on to the Paddy Power Irish Gold Cup, and I saw a tweet earlier today saying Manella Indo, big weekend for him, got to show something at Leopardstown. I'm not so sure I agree with that. He ran in this race last year, finished 4 for 5. Went on to win the Cheltenham Gold Cup. That's where the big target is, the Cheltenham Gold Cup, not necessarily this Irish Gold Cup. I think Ken Boy's the one to beat. He's got really good Leopardstown form. Don't think he was at his best last time when he was 3rd to Galvin, and I wonder whether he's slightly, just starting to reach the end of his top level form. The one I want to take him on with is the unlucky, but it's his own fault sort of thing, Asterion for Longe. If he stayed up in the King George, I think he would have won that. And if he'd stayed up, he would have beaten Frodon. So I don't understand the Frodon angle here. And Frodon likes Kempton, so the fact that he was going to beat him at a track that Frodon's meant to like, I put Asterion for Longe in front of Frodon. Manella Indo, as I said, he finished 4 for 5 in this last year, so I would want to take him on. Ken Boy is the one to beat, but could just be getting to the end, towards the end of his Grade 1 career. So I'm hoping that Asterion for Longe can stand up. If he stands up, I think he takes all the beating, personally. Moving on to the 350, I just want to mention this race because as a race, it looks terrible in terms of quality, and yet it's worth £49,579 to the winner. You know, if we got a race like this in the UK, well, there is one, and I think the winner wins 15 grand at Sandown. It's this one here, 15,000 for the winner. It's a similar quality. Probably, if anything, it's a better quality. I think these horses are better than a lot of these horses because these, look at that, they're just so out of form and so, just moderate horses. And there's a 50 grand race to be won. So I'm surprised that, Paul's over there with Frodon. I think, who's the other one over there? There's another trainer over there. Can't think off the top of my head. Dan Skelton's taken one over, I think. Why didn't they take a handicapper? They must have had a handicapper that they could have run in this handicap. 2-mile handicap, and gone close with him. Final race I want to talk about is the bumper. I think it's going to be a good bumper. I think it's what unites us, and Sandor Clegane are both very good horses, but I think Facile Vega wins it, and I think Facile Vega kind of leaning towards that for the champion bumper as well. I think he's that good. I was very impressed with him last time. If he wins here and wins impressively, he goes to the Cheltenham bumper and runs a really big race. So there's some thoughts. It's just 20 minutes, just ticking over 20 minutes. Hopefully I've highlighted a few winners and why. I think the best result for us would be... I would like to see Dolos win because I highlighted him earlier, and I'm worried about Mr. Coffee. That could be the big loser for us tomorrow, in the fact that if he wins or gets too close, he could ruin his chance in the 2.5 handicap at the Cheltenham Festival. Thanks for listening. Have a great weekend, and I'll be back with a review probably on Sunday or maybe Monday. Thanks, guys.